Hello, hello. This is Danny Myers with We Are Sand Springs, and I'm here with Frank Peck. As you all know, we feature a Sand Springs Education Foundation Hall of Famer, someone who's been inducted into the Hall of Fame each edition of We Are Sand Springs. And I am so grateful that Frank was able to give us some time today to visit. Um, Truly, Frank, I appreciate it, and I know everybody is looking forward to hearing more from you.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, Danielle, and I'm very honored to be recognized and looking forward to the banquet and appreciate you contacting me.
Wonderful. So, Frank, tell us a little bit about what you do. What position do you hold currently?
I'm a CPA by training. As it occurs, our firm is an accounting firm at its core, but we're really a consulting firm for healthcare entities. So we do just about every kind of business operations that you could do for a healthcare entity, including billing. We do a lot of payroll, financial statements, accounts payable. Um, Financial analysis. We actually help negotiate contracts. Really, it's hard to list everything that we do, but
Yeah.
everything
Well,
business-wise.
that sounds like a full service for a specific industry. That's wonderful. And how long have you guys been in? You said, at the core, your CPA accounting firm. How long have you had that structure within your
I,
company?
I've been doing that for 35 years now, and I was in a partnership up until year 2000, and then we separated into a separate entity here called Peck and Associates. And we've now been doing that for 20 years. It'll be 20 years at the end of this month.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I think that's so amazing. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and so every time I get to hear an entrepreneurial story, I find it just absolutely wonderful. And for the sake of those Sandites who are finishing up college or high school or just even looking into a career, I think it's always helpful to share what are some of the challenges and the rewards of your type of work.
Well, some of the challenges, we just got through with the tax deadline and many of our clients are high income people. And so it's a stressful time to deal with the tax liabilities and the deadlines and getting things right without making errors or confusing information that you get. So the deadlines are always a challenge.
And the rewards?
Well, the rewards are that you can have very personal relationships with your clients. So you're very involved with their success, and some of the critical factors like their money is very important to them. So you're involved with them on some fairly intimate details of their life and their success. So
That's wonderful. What a privilege to have that opportunity to help people in that capacity. Um, Congratulations, let's just say that, on being
thank you.
inducted into the Sand Springs Hall of Fame, Sandite Hall of Fame. I have to ask, does it feel a little bit like a homecoming for you?
Oh, it's great. We're going to have a lot of my classmates there, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. I was on a state championship wrestling team, and many, or really all the guys that wrestled in the state tournament with me are going to be back for this event, and they're excited about it. So I'm very pleased about that. They were all very enthusiastic, and then I've got 5 physicians that I've worked with for 30 years that are coming back too. So they're going to, and 2 of them were Sand Springs graduates. So I'm
Oh,
really excited about it. And I think it's going to be a wonderful night.
I think it's going to be absolutely wonderful. That is so great. Speaking of homecoming, tell us about some of your experiences in Sand Springs school system that kind of prepared you and maybe in a typical way for your career or maybe a non-typical way, but prepared you for your career.
Well, The school system was great. I started in the first grade there and finished in the 12th grade. And so did my entire education there. I think for me, the thing that I think of most is the entire community because I played baseball and Little League baseball up through till high school age, had a paper route, mowed yards, got to know so many people through all those endeavors. Went to church at Broadway Baptist, it's a big church. And some years later, I realized that I knew a lot of people in Sand Springs, and they were all very good to me and my brothers. So it was great having that. And I grew up in a baby boom neighborhood, and so
Mm,
it was great growing up there. So
that's wonderful. So Teacher Appreciation Week is like right around the corner. Were there any teachers or administrators in Sand Springs that really made a difference in your life?
well, I'm going to give a tribute to one of our teachers at the banquet. I don't want to give away too much, but my fifth grade teacher had a big impact on me as a person and in my development and my enthusiasm. When I was a senior, I was student council president, and the faculty rep that I worked with all year was George Payton, who
Mm.
was later the superintendent there, but he was a great mentor to me all year. And that was a great opportunity for my personal development to have that role as a senior. So those are things that pop out to me as we talk today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just feel welcome if you want to share any shout outs. This video will air after the ceremony, so no worries on that information getting out too soon. But that is wonderful. And I tell you, everyone that I've spoken with that has gone through the Sand Springs education system has these stories of teachers who are going above and beyond and giving them opportunities and believing in them before they knew they really had anything to believe in. And I think it's just wonderful that our teachers do that. And so huge shout out to them. Much appreciation for both a Sandite mom here, as well as just having the privilege to hear all these stories that this goes back many generations. So I think it's wonderful. Given the opportunity, do you have some words of encouragement, which this is your opportunity, right? Because we're going to be posting this out there. So publishing it for Sand Springs to see. Do you have any words of encouragement for this next generation that's coming up?
Well, I think one of the things that I'm going to talk about at the banquet well, I'm going to talk about two or three things, but perseverance was a great thing for me. There's always in life a lot of discouragements, things that don't work out like you hoped. I was fortunate to have people that encouraged me to persevere, that led me to believe that I was a person of worth, and they believed in me in spite of the discouragement of the moment. So I think that's important. I also learned a lot from being a part of a team of teammates that pushed me and caused me to be better than I would have been without them. So valuing those relationships and those people, I think it's important because they make a difference in your life.
Absolutely. What do they say? You're the sum of your five closest friends. So choose them wisely, right?
Yeah.
Surround yourself by people who encourage you and that you believe in and you can encourage back. And absolutely, I agree with all of those things. They make such a huge difference. Here's a fun question. If you can pick more than one, but let's just start with one, okay? What is your favorite landmark or restaurant or event in Sand Springs? If you just had to pick one favorite.
Um, whenever
It's a hard one.
we were growing up, now it's a museum, but we used to love to go to the library down there. It was a beautiful building, and the librarian was really nice to us. And so me and my brother would go down there and look at the books, pick out books. We could stay there and read and then take them home. So that part was very nice. And I have a lot of memories about the Little League baseball things and going up to then Douglas Park. And
Mm.
it was on top of the, roughly up north of 10th Street Hill. And so we had a lot of memories there with both competing and with teammates. So those are the thoughts that pop into my head now.
That's wonderful. Well, do you have anything else story-wise you would like to share with the community?
Um, one of I think I'm going to talk about this at the banquet, but it was a great experience being a part of a state championship team. The things that I learned from that group, from the sacrifice that we had to make to be excellent at what we did, to even learning how to deal with discouragement, but also even having to have the type of attitude about uh, winning and being celebrated. You had to learn that that was just a temporary, fleeting thing, and therefore you needed to pursue life where you're continuing to pursue excellence. So those are my thoughts about that.
That is wonderful. That is a great addition to our conversation. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely awesome, Frank. Um, Thank you again for taking the time to visit with us.
You're
Um,
most
and
welcome.
congratu and congratulations again on your induction to the Hall of Fame. I think it's definitely something to be celebrated.
It's a great honor, and I'm very pleased to join a long list of great people. And so I appreciate you visiting with me today and look forward to the banquet tomorrow night.